morning. Happy Wednesday. I want to talk about thoughts and fears. So, anxiety always stems from a thought. It's always a thought, and it's usually a fearful thought. You may not be able to recognize that in the moment, but this actually happened to me not that long ago. I had an excellent morning. Well, first of all, I woke up at 5 a.m. again. This is my thing lately. Go to bed at midnight, wake up at 5, and, I think you should get up and do stuff. And then I'm like, this is just not enough sleep. You need to, get your mind right and maybe get a little more sleep. So I'll listen to some, relaxing videos and try to get more sleep, and then I get up and I'm feeling a little better and getting myself in the right frame of mind. I meditate, listen to some really hype music. I listen to trap music. I like that a lot. That's really energetic. Your music, the kind of music that you listen to, is going to affect your mood too. So, be cognizant of that. If you're feeling depressed, don't listen to fucking, your love song with your first boyfriend or girlfriend that brings a tear to your eye every time you hear it. Not a good idea. Anyways, I got myself all hyped and ready to go, and I was feeling it, and I went to the gym and I kicked ass there. I had great interactions with people, feeling on top of my game, did what I needed to do, came home, got ready for work, and then I was listening to a video by Coach Corey Wayne, and I like him. He's good. I've gotten some stuff from him about entrepreneurship and just different life stuff. And I listen to a lot of different speakers, just a ton of them. But anyways, this particular video that I was listening to him was about emotional control or emotional stability, maybe. And he talked about, one of his points was, Donald Trump apparently had a pretty big crash. He was at the height of his career many, many, many years ago, and he completely crashed and looked at some homeless guy on the side of the road and said, "You're worth more than I am at this point." That's what he was worth. And, then he went on to say other things, and I'll go into that. But so I started noticing that I was feeling really fearful. I was feeling anxious. I started feeling anxious, and I was fine. I'm getting ready for work, getting my stuff together, and then I started feeling anxious. I'm driving to work, and I'm thinking, all right, let's stop and assess the situation and figure out why you're feeling so anxious. Why? Where is this coming from? You were great earlier, feeling on top of the world, gonna kick some ass, all this ambition. What happened? Trace it back. And it was that moment when I heard him talk about Donald Trump, and I started to think about it, and I thought, I attached that to myself, a fear. If someone so successful that's done so well could crash and burn and go to nothing, why couldn't I? That's a fear of mine. I've worked hard to get to where I'm at, and I am fearful of things like that. God, what if I lose my job today? What if, I'm late on this payment and I lose my house or whatever? I'm fearful of those things, and it's really not helpful. I know that, but that's part of the anxiety disorder. You have sometimes irrational worries, a lot of time. So after I found out why I was feeling this way and where it came from, I remembered what he said that Donald did. And, the intention of his video was to be motivational, not to scare the shit out of you. He probably didn't know he was dealing with some pretty high anxiety people here, where, some words can really trip us up. So I remembered back to what he said, what the point of it was. The point of it was, Donald got through that and did really well, obviously. Look at where he's at. Because he had confidence, and he knew that he could. And he did it. He took action. Instead of thinking in the past or the future, he worked in the present and did what he needed to do in that moment. And he took action. And that was it. And I thought, okay, that makes me feel a little better. Because I've always been good at taking action. I've always been good at getting shit together when I need to get it together. I mean, who doesn't drop the ball sometimes, right? Who doesn't feel like they're overwhelmed and just just not feeling good enough. And I hate to say that, but it's so true. Like, that's what you feel, not good enough right now, you know? We're always good enough. We just get ourselves into situations, or life throws us a situation that can be really overwhelming, and it can make it seem like they're, you know, it's overwhelming. There's no out. Like, this is it. Hit the panic button. Let's abort the mission. This is just the end of everything. And it's not. I mean, let's look at your history here. You've made it through much worse shit than this in the past, right? I mean, I know I have. I've made it through some pretty tough stuff. And I don't even know anything about it. Like, I'm predicting. I'm just grasping at things and making up false thoughts in my head about things that may or may not happen. And they probably won't. Like, you know, it's not going to happen. I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. And as long as you keep that attitude of like, I've got this, I can do this, and try to realize that a thought is just a thought. It doesn't make it true or false. It's just a thought. So, you know, we can choose a different thought. And that's what I did. And, you know, remembered. You've done stuff. You've gotten through some good stuff. And, some tough stuff. And, I'm going to do it again. And I'm always going to do that. And because I persevere through things. And I've always done that. And sometimes you forget, you know, especially lately. And when you're when you let yourself get to these panic states and they last for an extended period of time, it gets more and more difficult to pull yourself out of it, because you start to lose confidence in yourself that you're able to. So get control quickly, you know, like right when you notice what's happening with my mood. Why are these things tripping me up right now? Where is this coming from, and what can I do to change it? And it's all trial and error. It's all trial and error. There's no magic solution to anything. I mean, you know, I've tried a million things, and sometimes some of them work, sometimes all of them work, sometimes none of them work. But you keep trying, and you just don't give up. You don't lose your faith in yourself and your ability to, you know, do what you know that you know, do what you know how to do really well. And that's, you know, living life and being the boss that you are. So I'm going to get in here and take care of business today. And I hope that you have a really excellent day too. And we'll talk soon.